Give me a minute time.
No problem. Okay.
You can start it now.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, really sorry. So you can start it from the scratch.
Okay, ma'am. A very good afternoon to one and all present here. Myself, Aishwarya R, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, SVCE Bangalore, extend a warm welcome on behalf of Department of Computer Science and Engineering in association with Institute Innovation Council, SVCE, to our resource person for today, Mr. Marian Avin GR, Assistant Professor, Department of ISC, SVCE Bangalore, for being here to conduct a one-day workshop on problem solving ideation. I also welcome our beloved chairman, Shri V. Muniappa sir, our CED sir, Dr. Shashidhar Muniappa sir, and our respected principal, Dr. Nageshwara Gupta sir, to this workshop. I also take this opportunity to welcome our Dean ma'am, Registrar, our IIC convener, Dr. Nirmala S. Gupta ma'am, and our HOD sir, HODs of all departments, and my dear faculty friends. Finally, I also welcome all the participants who have registered and are attending this workshop. Now, I request Professor Balaji sir to introduce today's speaker. Sir, over to you.
Thank you, madam. Good morning, one and all. It is my privilege to introduce Mariana sir, our resource person. He is currently working as an assistant professor in the Department of ISC in our college. He has 16 years of teaching experience and 4 years of experience in the research. He received a BE ISC from VTU and ME CSE from UBC Bangalore. Currently, is pursuing PhD under VTU. His areas of research interest include cloud computing, network security, data analytics, machine learning, like that. It is keeping on going. He published 25 plus papers in national and international journals and also in conference. He is a life member of IST and IEI. He is also a certified Google Cloud Platform Facilitator. He is expert in all subjects. Nearly he handled 23 subjects and he covered most of the students. Whatever the difficult subjects, he is making that particular subject very easier. It is not possible to fix a particular domain for him. If you take an PCD, means he is taking PCD, data structure, like that, keeping on going. If he is taking data mining, including inside that artificial intelligence, machine learning, neural networks, like that, he is expert in all the subjects. Expert in the sense is deeply solving all the problems, and is one of the role model for the students also. He is also a role model for the faculty also. Some subjects he handled 5 to 6 times, and he is clearing the doubts at any time to any student. He is still really the learner. He is one of the gift for us. He is along with us. Thank you, madam. Handing over to Aishwarya.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for the information. Now I request IIC convener Dr. Nirmala S. Gupta ma'am, HOD, Department of CSE AI, to speak few words about this webinar. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Aishwarya, ma'am. So today we are here gathered for another event, which is on a workshop for problem solving or ideation. So every one of us, we seek for every problem the solution to be found out, our solution to be there. So in our realistic world, from day what we started in the morning until we go to bed and sleep, even in the sleep also we'll get a lot of the problems and even the solutions. It will pop up, even our subconscious mind. So everything we need to find out a solution. So for every problem there is a solution. Minimum I'm talking about, there is a solution. So what best idea, what best the method or the technique or technology we can adopt it to solve our problem. So that is the main intention of giving an awareness on how to do a problem to be solved and what kind of an ideation or idea can be implemented for the problem solution. So in that regard, we are hosting or we are conducting this particular session as a workshop on problem solving or ideation, and we are very happy to have our own Professor Maria Naveen sir as the today's session speaker, and we are really happy to thank him also to accept and come forward to deliver the awareness on this particular theme of the basic fundamental to be known before understanding the complete process of innovation, entrepreneurship, startup or IP, anything. So this is the day like we need to know the basic foundation for the solution to be found out for any kind of a problem. So in that regard, I just congratulate and thank Mariana Vincent and Department of CSC to take this initiative to conduct the workshop on problem solving and ideation as part of the IIC in association with the IIC and part of the IIC as a convener. I would like to congratulate even the Department of CSC and the entire coordinating team and even the participants. So this is from my end. So over to you, Aishwarya ma'am. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak few words on this particular theme of the session for today.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now, I request today's speaker, Maria Naveen sir, to deliver the session. Welcome, sir. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you, madam. So I thank the IISc coordinator at college institution level, Dr. Nirmala Gupta, madam, for providing me this opportunity. I thank everyone, management, principal, and my HOD and all my dear colleague members for supporting me for this presentation. So to start off with, so I hope the screen is visible.
Yes, sir, it is visible only.
Thank you, madam. So I welcome all the participants, my dear students, for this event, a workshop on problem solving and ideation. So to start up with, I have the list of contents as follows. So first, my intention is to define what is the meaning of a problem and what are the basic steps we have during problem solving and what are the strategies we have to solve a given problem. Then slowly we can proceed on with the ideation concept in the form of an innovation. So why it is important and what is its definition, why it is important, and to perform a successful innovation, what are the steps that we need to follow. And further after that, we have the list of steps that has to be followed for a successful innovation. And finally, we talk about how to develop a prototype and how to take our ideas into the market.
Naveen sir, it's my request, sir. Can you put complete volume of your speaker, sir, 100%?
Yes,
I think the audio is a little bit low, and from my end the noise is there, but still I feel the same might be with all other participants, sir.
yes, madam. Now it's fine, madam.
Ha sir.
Yes.
Correct, sir.
Thank you,
It's looking fine.
thank you. So now to start up with, let's proceed on to what do you mean by problem solving? So basically, it is a mental process. So any new problem or idea that has to be taken or derived from past history, observation. So there is a lot of mental process involved. So we can define it as discovering, analyzing, and giving a solution to the problem. So we have to perform a lot of investigation to discover the problem, and we need a lot of analytics to check out what is the possible solution and find out what are the existing methods that are used to solve already present that is used to solve such a problem, and then finally we come out with a solution. So what is the first important step that is required in solving a problem? It may be a simple problem which is in academic, or it may be an ideation problem which can lead to innovation. So first thing is we need to understand the exact nature of the problem itself. So we are having various, if you take a simple subject, in a simple subject itself, we have various types of simple types of problems. So first thing is we need to exactly understand the nature of the problem. For example, we are having a problem related to designing an algorithm, for example. It is like we have to just look into what type of problem it is. Like, is it a graphical related problem or is it a combinatorial related problem? It needs concepts of combinatorics or probability, or it is a problem which needs a graph theoretical concepts. So first we need to understand the exact nature of the problem. And then if our understanding is going to end up in a faulty one, so definitely we are not going to get a probable good solution for the problem. So understanding the problem becomes the first initial step in any problem solving. So to proceed on, what are the simple basic steps that we can have in problem solving? As I said, like identifying the problem, then understanding the problem. Identification is looking for a particular problem statement. So understanding the problem is performing a simple study on the problem of what exactly the problem is, defining the problem, able to explain in a much better way after identifying the problem, then forming a strategy. We can go for a algorithmic strategy or a heuristic strategy. We are having some basic strategies to solve a given problem. Then organizing whatever information we have. So today, this maintenance of information about a problem has become a huge trend. So organizing, sorting, collecting, organizing it, whatever the evidence we have about the problem becomes a key important step. Then allocating the resources and monitoring the progress of the outcome. So how do we proceed on to get a solution for the problem? So we may have many solutions for a single identified problem. So the thing is, we need to use some strategy to find out which is the best solution, which is very optimal, feasible. So that is we have to use our technology and problem solving technique to find out which is the best solution that can give a very good outcome for this particular problem. So second is we have to answer to a lot of questions once the problem is identified. So who, why, how, when, what if, all these questions we have to assert to ourselves and come out with a solution to understand the problem and to define the problem in a better manner. So later, as we go into the definition of innovation and the related things, these will become more and more important. The questions what we need to supposed to ask during a problem identification and definition. So organizing, so this is a simple pictorial representation of organizing the data, whatever you have got during the initial stages of identification and defining of your problem. We have to sort them, we have to take care of organizing them in a proper manner. So that these are the information which will be very useful for us to investigate, to create better technique than the existing technique. So we can call this as a related work or a literature survey or related stuff for this particular organization of the data during the solving of the problem statement. Then finally, the thing is we have to monitor the progress. We have to monitor the progress and we have to see what is the outcome that you are going to get, whether the optimal or feasible solution is obtained for the intended problem. So now let us proceed on to the various problem solving strategies we have. We can go for a basic algorithmic problem solving where we try to write a basic step-by-step interpretation of solving a problem. So basically we don't go for any heuristic approach in algorithm. So we try to use basic steps of whatever method we have found to solve a particular problem. So in heuristics, what happens is we use a mental approach. What we don't aim at getting an optimal solution. Heuristic is about not aiming for an optimal solution. We are going to get a solution. We are trying to get a solution which is as good as possible and which can lead to a optimal value. So we are not going to go for a very optimal solution. So we can use this heuristics method as a very good method for solving a problem. In recent days, this heuristics method has become very popular. Trial and error, sometimes we use trial and error. So to check whether this particular method is applicable to solve such a particular problem statement. And then finally, nowadays we have this insight going into a deep investigation of the problem and to obtain a lot of information related to that problem. So insight also is a very important keyword nowadays in problem solving strategy. So let us go on to the ideation concept. So wherein we are aiming for performing innovation. So it can be as per the Oxford English Dictionary. So discovering a new method or idea, inventing a new method, idea or a product, anything can be called as an innovation or an development of an idea. We call it as an ideation. So how do we proceed? So why this innovation is important? So everyday's personal life, these new technologies have made a lot of changes. So for example, there is a lot of innovation in every sector, particularly in the social media sector. So nowadays, we started communicating in different manner. Usually our communication year by year, it keeps on changing the way and the pattern of our communication, the tools which we use for our communication, the gadgets, what we use for our communication. So this itself is a progressive way in this particular communication technology, innovation in the communication technology. So we have started making a lot of decisions, even to buy a small product. We have started making a lot of decisions, and our decisions are changing every year by year. So what has led to such a change? So it is all about the innovation, what is happening in the research. So people are trying to find new methods for any particular application for the use of the human beings. So this social media is one of the best example where there is a huge amount of innovation happening, and we started communicating in different manners. So usually when we take every year progress in the communication way among the customers or the human beings, there's a huge change in the pattern or the tools and the gadgets what we use and the technology what we are using. So next, what are the steps for successful innovation? So this diagram, we are having simple steps here, some 5 steps in successful innovation, successful ideation. First, we need to look for an opportunity, a problem or an opportunity. So we have to identify the problem statement. So first we have to look into the domain, or we have to identify a problem statement or opportunity. So that is the first important step. Then more important, next comes the interaction with the customer. So it just goes like a development life cycle. So wherein we go through the market insights. So we look into the market trends. We look in deeply investigate into the market trends. What is the current requirement of such a innovation? And how it is going to be carried on into the market in future after the release of that particular innovation into the market. And what is the customer requirement of the particular innovation or the product so that you are going to design. It may be from a simple smartphone, or it may be from a simple smartphone to any other product, how it is going to be accepted by the customer. So that forms the second step, customer and market insights. Market insights play a very important role. So it look into so many aspects like earning profile of a customer also is an important factor that has to be considered during the market insights. Okay. So earning profile of a customer, the geographical location where you are going to sell the product. Will your product be sold at all the geographical locations? So ethnography, we call it as. So all such factors will make a very big impact on the market insights. Then ideas, we have to look for the methods or the actual algorithm or the heuristic method that we have to provide as a solution. So if you take any simple problem, an existing problem, a graphical problem as a student in academics, they study. So the idea is the basic algorithm which is trying to get a simple solution for the problem. Then once if you, as I said, there may be huge number of solutions or probable solutions for a given problem. So we have to filter out and we have to perform the testing, and we have to perform a pilot test on the particular ideas, whatever you have found. So you may have more than one idea or more than one plan to execute that particular idea. You may have more than one idea, sorry. So it is the step where we filter out all the ideas which are flawed and which could not get a optimal solution. Then finally, once we finish this pilot test and adapt, we can take the innovation into the market. So there are also a lot of factors come into picture. So this we call it as culture of any innovation. As I said, it may be a simple innovation from a simple product to a very large scale product. So to start with, the first step which comes along the way of this innovation is we have to know innovation, you have to pick up the area where you want to invent, which can have a huge impact. So selecting the area or the product for development, we have to select in such a area that we have to get maximum impact from the customer and in the market. So we have to look into such a area which can have more impact. That is the first step. We call it as pinpoint your purpose. The purpose is to have a good impact. Your area selection should have a good impact among the customers and in the market once it has been released. And then whatever innovation we are trying to solve, okay, the problem we have to describe the problem that we are going to solve, get a solution to it. It should be easily understood by everyone. Okay, so that is one of the other attribute that is required when we pinpoint our purpose. So whatever solution we give to a problem, that has to be easily understood by the common man. Okay, who has the minimum knowledge of who is interested to use that product. Then we have to have clarity on your invention. So clarity is a very important word. So whatever the solution we are going to prescribe for the particular problem should have more clarity so that your information is easily communicated. And whoever is very much interested in contributing or helping you into solving that problem will get inspired and will join you. So this is the first step in any innovation. Once if you have obtained an idea, so these are the three parameters that one among there are many parameters. So these are quite very important parameters when compared to the other parameters, which we have to initially take care. Then the purpose is the most important word in any particular innovation. What is the purpose of the innovation? So we are having a lot of factors that contribute to this. So you should satisfy at least one of these. Without this, there is no need for that innovation. So you may be satisfying an unmet need. So still today, that need has not been met by any innovators or any industry. So in that case, if that is left unsolved, so we can pick up such a problem and we can start addressing it. We can select as our problem for the innovation. We can solve a problem. So unmet need is we are having a need which no one has solved before. Solve a problem, it may be a problem which is solved by someone or it is getting solved by some other one, but you are trying to obtain a better solution for it. As I said, you can have more than one solution for a problem. So as we study the problem solving things related to computer science, okay, so in subjects like the algorithm design, simple thing is we have a problem. We try to find many different solutions for the same problem. Then we optimize it, try to optimize it, and we measure the performance of each. And we treat this as the best among the available. So we can obtain a solution to an existing problem, which already has got a existing solution. Our aim is to get a better solution. Then exploit an opportunity. So there may be an opportunity or a current trend or suddenly a new opportunity peaks. So to exploit that opportunity, we tend to come up with the innovation and then provide a better, more effective to do something. So that is like coming out with a better efficient work, similar to a research work. So we try to find a method or some efficiency which is better than the existing ones. So we have to address any one of these factors which leads to a good innovation. Then we are having these why questions. Usually when you take any design procedure, we have to answer some of the why questions. And before you find out the symptoms involved in this problem, so we have to answer the why questions. And finally, using the answers for the why question, we have to find out the root cause. So what is the need? What is the actual need for that? So we are having an example. So suppose this is a general example as innovation can happen in any sector. It is not only restricted to computer science or engineering, innovation can happen in any sector. So if you take an example here, why this, we cannot treat the symptom as an important factor when you are addressing an issue. We should use the symptoms to identify the root cause of the problem. So if you take an example here, the problem here is you are having, for example, you are having a delivering system. You have to deliver the packages to the correct address. But unfortunately, you have a situation where packages were delivered to the wrong address. But it may be a logistic company or any of such a thing. What and all would have been the reason for such a thing to happen? First one is we can assume that the person packing and dispatching for delivery, he was in a very hurry situation. He was handling the other customers at the same time. So unfortunately, some of the packages they went to the wrong address. He has stuck the incorrect label and it went to the wrong address. Second thing, one of the other why question in this sort of a problem may be a person who is appointed is very new to the dispatching authority. She is the dispatching authority, but she is new, and she was not knowing that how to dispatch. She was not trained yet. For any job, you need slight small training procedure so that they can follow that and they can do the work up to accuracy. So that may be the case. Third one is because the actual employee who used to do this dispatching left recently. Okay, so he has not followed any, he has not kept any procedures or any steps that has to be followed in order so that the next person who takes up the same job will know exactly how to dispatch that particular packages to the correct address. That also may be a reason. Okay, so there is no time for training or writing procedures. So even it may be a small work of attaching a recipient's address and sending it to them. There may be a chance that the employees who are involved in such a section or the work of in a section, they are not trained well enough to perform the job in a proper manner. So these are some of the ways that can be possible. Now, the final thing is after understanding all these whys, our aim is not to identify the symptom. So all these four can be treated as the symptom. Our aim is not to look at the symptom. So we have to understand the symptom and we have to find the root cause. What is the main root cause for this problem? Okay, so now we can come to a conclusion after understanding these four whys at the top that there was no effective training or putting the basic procedures to the new employees who are joining to that particular section where they are delivering the packages to the addresses. So if you had trained them, okay, or if there is an in-charge person who is going to train the new upcoming people, this problem would have been solved easily. So that is what we have found right now, and hereafter it can be solved in such a manner. So this last why can be considered as the root cause. So by analyzing the symptoms we cannot investigate individually. So analyze all the symptoms, we can come out with a root cause. So easily we can find a solution. Now it is left up to the logistic company to come out with the in-charge person and who is capable of training the new coming people in the dispatch section. That can be one of the solution. So this is how we consider this why as one of the very important term in solving a problem. So moving on, the next step is very important. As we all know, customers are the main people who are going to help in our ideas to be transferred into the market and to convert those ideas into the revenues. So how will you know who are your customers? The first question. Now, you can become an ethnographer. So people belong to various inhabitants and geographical locations. The geographical location, their needs, the people from different geographical locations, they have their own needs. Their requirements are varying. Okay, so ethnography is very important way of collecting the requirements when you talk about the customers based on different geographical background. You can use personas. Okay, so personas are just like the templates which are used to collect information about the customer perspective we call it as. So we have to gather a lot of information about the customers because ultimately they are the ones who are going to procure the innovative products, and we have to have a pure full investigation on who are the customers who are involved in such a thing. So we have to just collect the customer perspective of the idea, whatever we are trying to release. We have to get the customer perspective of our idea. So we have to go for building more interactions with our customers. So simple way of doing it is we have to create conversation. Okay, so nowadays we can see a lot of the product related stuff. They send mails to us, or they send WhatsApp messages to us telling that this is the innovative product we have. And it is like an advertisement. They are creating conversation with us. We can, like what happens is they can keep on conversating with us. Once if you start reply, the customer starts replying, they send a newsletter to us, they try to publish or they try to promote their product to us. So they create conversation with the customers. They try to build the conversation, and at the end, the customer becomes a frequent customer with such a product. Then you are going to have the suggestions given by the customers, so we have to concentrate even on that. So to build more interaction with the customer, we need to consider their suggestions, complaints, all other things, and we have to process it in the proper manner. Third thing is we have to practice listening. The customers may have their own views, their own reviews. We have to practice listening to them, and we have to just see to it that they are satisfied and we adjust towards their requirements. Final one is we have to do a lot of analytics on the customer information. So nowadays we are having a lot of tools which can perform analytics on the collected information, and we can come out with various conclusions about the customers. So what sort of customers we can categorize, we can classify, we can cluster these customers, and we can come out with what is the expectation of the customer related to such a event, which is related to such a innovation. So now the next step in this is, once if you are having a lot of ideas, so as I said, a single problem, I mean, sometimes the innovators come out with variety of ideas, plan A, plan B, and so and so. Now when lot of ideas are present, we have to use some filtering mechanism to filter out, because there is a lot of financial investment involved in implementing each idea. There is a lot of human skill present needed to implement those ideas. So when you are having many, we have to shortlist them so that we have to come out with a good list of optimal ideas which can lead to better solution. So we can apply a first filter, we can apply even a second filter based on some factors. Then we go into the step of prototyping, so wherein we actually prepare the physical practical implementation can be converted into some physical models. First, you can apply simple filters like this. So does the idea address the innovation question? Okay, so are you trying to solve the problem or the opportunity? They sets out to do problem or opportunity, that you have to check first. So you may have many ideas to solve a simple problem. You may have many ideas to solve a simple problem, 4 ideas for example. So each idea you have to address the innovation question. Is it actually trying to solve the problem in our expected way, wherein the skill needed, infrastructure needed, all these things, finance needed, all these things match up together? What insight does it respond to? So deep analytics. Insight is a deep analytics. Can it be done? Next question is, you are having the model prototypes. Can it be really executed? These prototypes are developed using these cardboards, papers, all such things can be used for developing prototypes. So can it be really converted? Is it feasible? Can it give you the best solution? So feasible is obtaining the best solution in terms of the performance and efficiency. Is it attractive? Okay, so innovation also needs, it concentrates towards attractiveness. How it does it look? So many customers, they intend for attractiveness. Is it novel? Originality. Okay, related sort of thing is not existing. How original it is? All these become the first simple filter. So if you are having 4 ideas, for example, on a particular problem, few of them will not pass through this test. So we are going to take the remaining ones which pass through these tests into the second filter. So if you look at the second filter, we can apply a lot of parameters on this second filter. So first one, we have to look at the market trends. So we look at the size of the market. What is the current market situation for this product? We look at the growth. How will the growth of the innovation be accepted? And we look at the appeal. So appeal in the sense, who are the competing industry who are trying to innovate similar product. So we have to take care of that in the market factor. So there may be many corporates who are trying to develop a similar product. So we have to see even their competency level at the market. Then product, when you come to the product itself, how unique is your product? So unique in the sense, it is novel, original. Okay. So will it be able to patent that? We call it as exclusivity. Then will you be able to scale it? So will it be able to go beyond the geographical locations? Will the innovation be accepted at all geographical locations? And the lifespan, how long will this particular idea be active? Okay, so how long this particular problem is accepted by the customer? How long will this product be accepted by the customer? That is the lifespan. Next, we are having the feasibility, the product development. What is the procedure used for the product development? The technology, whatever you are trying to use. So what sort of technology nowadays for even for a simple problem? Okay, so the variety of technologies, programming are available. Okay, various forms of developing the core logic is available. We have to look into that. Production, the method used for what are the financial and other related things, personal and financial. Production is what is the method used for developing the, what is the procedure used for developing the particular product. Then we are having the fit parameters. So all these parameters are taken as a key parameter in the second level to filter out an idea. So whichever does not, suppose if you are having an idea which is not going to be seen as a major growth in the market. So if you use that idea to solve such a problem, if it is not going to be accepted in the market for long duration, then we can just filter out that idea in this step itself. Now when you come to the fourth one, the fit organizational infrastructure. Okay, so what the industry infrastructure, what you have to equip such a particular idea. So what is available with you, what infrastructure you have, physical infrastructure, you have to handle such a implementation of such a invention. Personal and managerial expertise, the human skill level at various points, the programmers, okay, so the programmers and other people who are involved in the work. Marketing, what sort of marketing strategy you have in your organization. So how will you market the product to the market? Okay, so how will you publish your product to the market? What is the standard of your marketing? Sales, how is your sales department in your organization? Technical, financial and customer market needs. How well you have the customer relationship happening in your organization. Some organizations, they tend to have it in a much better way. For example, we are having this Amazon.com. So they started initially, like we can take these examples. Organizations which have good infrastructure and all these particular filters apply for whatever they invent. They started to sell books initially, then they took video on demand. Now they are controlling everything. They are releasing various inventions. Okay, so if you look at this Amazon.com, people are very much satisfied and they are releasing all the new type of innovations from their side to satisfy the customer. So all these customer market needs and the fit, the fourth parameter fit comes into that category. And one of the organization which is very, very successful in doing its innovation and successfully promoting it in the market is simple example is your Amazon, which everyone we try to use them when needed. Then time becomes a very, very important factor. How long will it take to develop your idea? That is the first question. So there will be competitors. Appeal, the market appeal category will come into picture. A competitor will be trying to solve a similar problem with his own ideas. So automatically when your ideas and development is taking more than their time limit, then you are not going to come up with your anticipation in the market. What time commitment is required to develop the idea? How long before? How long will you need to time to market? Okay, and finally, how long will it take to make money from that idea? So finally, the revenue will come into picture. Okay, so we are going to prepare this particular property, right, and we are going to sell it in the market, and it returns in the form of revenue. But how long will it take? Financial issues will be a burden. So some ideas will have financial issues. Investment requirements will be there. That idea will have huge financial investment needed. Okay, to be invested by the organization. Okay, how much investment will your idea require? We have to go for prototyping. We have to go for testing. Okay, so we have to use some plan called MVP. Okay, so to scale your market. How expensive is your idea to start up? So all these will be very much related to the financial issues. So if any one of the ideas what you have is going to not respond properly with respect to the financial issues, it's going to involve a lot of burden on that, then our main intention will be simply to reject such an idea. So we have to, the main thing is we have to look for ideas. We have to look for ideas which are going to come out of this. It should pass through the filter one, and then it should not pass through filter one, and it should not pass through filter two. So as you develop the innovaton principles, innovation principles, we'll be able to find ideas, invent ideas which are not getting filtered in filter one and filter two. So this is one of the simple methodology. So authors can come out with their own number of filters. So if you are able to come out of filter one, if you are able to come out of filter one, and if you are able to come out of filter two, that is you are able to sustain filter one and filter two, then your idea is said to be a good idea which can come out with a proper innovation. Now, next very important word in this particular innovation, ideation is prototyping. Okay, so it is a very, very important part of any innovation process. What do we do in prototyping? So we do a lot of tests and we do a lot of refines. So tests and refines are checking the validation of your particular idea. So test refining is validation, verification of your idea. Okay, so we are going to refine the practicalities and functionality of your idea. So we are going to test in various angles. Is this idea going to be productive? We are going to, in the second step, we can even perform performance and sustainability of your materials. So whatever materials you are going to use for the invention, what is their sustainability and performance? Okay. For example, you are designing a new smartphone with some new technology. What sort of material you use for each component? So day by day, there is a lot of invention happening in the memory sector, lot of invention happening at the processor level, lot of invention happening at the display level. So which sort of material you will use to come out with a better invention? Okay, so before you actually go for the implementation, we have to look for the prototyping. So testing of these materials, testing the practicality of the work, and then finally you will have something physical to handle with. So you can develop these prototypes of a smartphone, of a laptop, all such things using simple cardboards or paper prototyping concept. Okay, so like how we click on a mobile phone, just it opens a new window. So like that, you can develop some prototype models using these basic materials. Okay, so this will become a very important part in your innovation. So user journey becomes important here. Okay, so we are having an example. So user journey, as I said, the more important one is finally is the customers. Okay, so the product will be used by the customers. So it is all about the customer perspective. How well you understand the customer perspective and how well you come out with a solution. So to look into the user journey, we are having some 5 key steps. Suppose if you are having a new service, you are having a new service, okay? So there is a new service in internet service provider or any service, for example, a cloud service by a cloud service provider, okay? So we are having a simple split up here. So first step will be aware. So how people are informed and learn about a new service. So the Amazon comes out with a new service. So they are recently coming out with lot of different new services. That's why they are very good in the market. Okay, so they are performing this innovation very regularly. The Amazon web services and the Amazon related thing. So if you are offering a new service, how the people are coming to know that there is a new service? Second thing is join. Okay, so you can submit an email to receive a newsletter. Okay, so you can subscribe to these Amazon people can interact with the customer, and they can just get in touch with the customer and supply a newsletter. Majority of the customers, if a banking service is offering a new service to you, they send a newsletter or they send an email to you. So people interested, majority of the people, by looking at our perspective and our analytics, they will come to know that we are very much interested in such a thing. So nowadays these analytical tools can be used to analyze what the customer is his perspective. So you can send a newsletter to him. Then finally we are having the third one is user. When the people start to use service for the first time, they may get frustrated. Okay, so they may not have used before. So whenever there is a new service on the Amazon, then we may not know how to work with the new service. We may get frustrated. Okay, so when they start using, they get frustrated, but they will continue to use. So how will you attach the customer to continue to use the service? Even though it is a new service, you make them to use the service, even though they are frustrated. That all depends upon the brand, the innovative idea that the organization has developed, how well they have attracted the customers. Okay, so finally, the relationship develops. So people start attaching towards this particular bank because they are having a new service now and people are very happy with the delivery of that service. So they have invented a new service and it is satisfying the customers. Amazon people have released a new service like Prime delivery, like that. So people started attracting towards that. So this is the way the innovation happens in an organization. And then finally, in the exit stage, what happens is when a customer decides to stop using a service, okay, so because of due to some reason he stops using such a service, okay, then automatically he starts promoting such a service since he has enjoyed the service during his usage. So this is a simple way you can describe a user journey map in an innovation. So mapping the user journey will help you to spot the gaps. Okay, so you can think about the people, resources and technology behind the particular innovation. Okay, you will be able to understand clearly what is the role of the people, what is the role of resources and what is the role of technology behind this innovation. So because customers are the ultimate key for any innovation, that is what it is, the people, the resource and the technology. Technology is also very important, a secondary one which is very much useful, the one which technology which you are using going to develop the particular innovation. Then how to prototype? So it should be very much quick, cheap and simple. So prototype can be developed using cardboards, plastic and then these papers. So it is a model, okay, physically developed simple model to describe the working functionality of your idea. Okay, so usually it need not be very neat, very neat. It can be very cheap, quick and simple. So it can be techniques we have like quick and dirty. Sometimes the prototypes can be dirty, but it has to convey the message, what the model is about. And then it can be made up of paper prototyping. You can even have role plays. So role play is also very good the prototyping technique. So we can identify the actors in the scene and we can assign one role to each actor so that they convey the particular model, description of the model. So the actors in the scene will perform a play which describes the exact way the model is going to function. Okay, and this should be a new idea. It is a ideation technique. so which is not existing. So these people will involve themselves in a role play. The audience will come to know that this is the way the model is going to work, and each component in the model will be acted by a person in the role play. Sketch example of a template, okay, so which can be used for prototyping. So here you can see we can use paper, and we can cut these cardboards, papers to develop a prototype. So we are having a website, okay, so you can describe any model with the help of these cuttings and other things like these papers, cardboards to describe the model. For example, you are having a smartphone, you can describe the prototype for mobile apps, web applications. So you can cut these cardboards and papers, and we can project the model with these paper cuttings and paper modeling. For example, if you touch on a particular screen, it should be able to open and show you what will be the next screen. So some other sort of screen that is behind that paper. For pressing of a button, what will be the new screen that you are going to develop? We can show such a modeling using a sketch template. So prototyping, this is a simple example of prototyping. We can develop prototypes for mobile applications before actually releasing the final version of the mobile or implementing the mobile applications. We can go for developing these prototypes for the mobile applications. So how will the mobile applications look like? How many screens, how many buttons, how will it look like? Just a paper model or a cardboard model we can develop to tell that this is how the product will be. Okay. So prototyping is actually a very, very important step in any innovation. Then we are having the step of pilot, adapt, and invest. So you are going to identify and test the minimal viable product. So what is the meaning of this MVP is we are going to find a new product. We are going to take a minimum version of the new product. Okay. And we are going to collect maximum amount of validated learning about customers and with least effort. Okay. So we are going to take a minimum viable product and we are going to interact with the customers with least effort, and we are going to understand the validated learning about the customers. So ultimately, learning about the customer perspective only is one of the key areas of invention. Okay, so what is the customer need and how you are going to handle the customers when your product reaches the market? So this MVP, minimum viable product, so you are going to a new product, a version of a new product. Okay, so you will be collecting maximum amount of validated learning about the customers. Validated learning from the customers. What is their perspective about the product? How will it be reaching into the market and how will they make use of the product? How will they promote the product? So Amazon people and all have become very familiar and very famous just because of these ideas. Pilot. And then it should be done with least effort. Okay, so this will definitely, once if you are performing this piloting operation, your mitigating of the risk becomes very successful. You will be able to whatever risk may be possible can be reduced. To proceed on, how will you measure and evaluate your pilot? So we have to check what happened. Is it what you expected? All these responses you will be getting. Is it what you expected? Okay, so your anticipation of expecting something is the same thing happened. Okay, so that can be tested. If the customer's response or validation is very poor, we can think of what may be the problem. We have to investigate into that. We can go into a different geographical location. Ethnography can be followed to look for some other set of customers. What will you change? It is like a change management in development life cycle. So in software development life cycle, change management. So once they feel that customers are not happy, they are looking for newer version. What will you change to satisfy them? And then what will it cost? So definitely this change management will involve huge amount of cost in making the necessary changes. These are the evolution of your innovation. So automatically it will lead to lot of financial charges, and then finally you have to do it. So we are having this pilot evaluation report. So there can be 4 answers after the pilot test. So one is yes, scale and rollout. So you have done, your idea works on a small scale. You have come out with an innovation which is working fine for a small scale. You have to try it on the large scale because it is successful. The pilot test has been successful. Okay. Second one, there is a problem. Okay. So you can just stop this idea right now because currently this idea innovation is not having good response, or there may be a problem during the prototyping, customer satisfaction, all such things may be a problem. Then adapt. Okay. So the idea and all may be very good. Okay. But the adaptation is very less. Maybe geographical location adaptation is poor. Okay. Only few type of people are customers have accepted it. Few other type of people have not accepted. Categorization, all such things will lead to such a thing. So you have to just adapt. Okay. Third one is due to market conditions. We cannot bring this innovation into the market because the market currently, the customers in the market are not looking for such a product right now. Okay, so we are having such an issue like recently these innovations happened in so many things. So in future, the same things which are very important right now may not be as important. Or 2 years back, some things were not at all important. Now it is at the peak. The customer need is very high. So such a thing can happen. Right now, the market conditions is not good. Okay, so we have to wait for the review. When the time comes, this same product may be very much needed by the customers. But right now the market is not, currently it's not needing it. Next, last step is you have to take your ideas to the market. Okay, so now everything is fine. The ideas and all got pilot tested and filtering, everything is done. You can take your ideas into the market. Okay, so here the business case will become important. So business case is the term which relates to generation of revenue. So finally, business case is the ultimate thing for any innovation. Okay, so commercial innovation we can call it as. For any commercial innovation, okay, not like academic research, commercial innovations are there. Product development for the purpose of generating revenue. So these are the factors that you should consider. Idea and purpose. Okay, what is the problem your idea is solving? Refer back to your original problem. The marketplace situation, why there is a need to do things differently. Okay, then who benefits and how? Who are your customers? Delivery plan outline. How will you deliver your idea or project plan, including your operational details, risks? What might go wrong? Okay, that is always there. You have to know how to mitigate the risk. And then opportunity cost. Cost of not progressing your idea. So you got an opportunity, but you have not went on to grasp it and implement it. So you have an idea in your mind which can be an invention, but you have not proceeded further. Last one is continuous improvement. How will you monitor and develop further? So these are the important steps that you have in a ideation technique or an innovation technique. And this is like a methodology, whatever I said so far. So we can take this as a methodology to come out with a problem and identifying an idea to solve that particular problem. And we have to see that we pass through all the steps in order to reach the destination. So I hope I come to the conclusion. Now I request students and faculty members, dear faculty members, to ask for any clarification.
Students, if you have any doubts, you can ask to sir.
Anybody have anything? Can ask?
Any
Your mic is
clarification?
enabled.
Sir, if it is not there, shall we conclude the session? Or shall I call Rakshita?
Aishwarya ma'am,
Ah, ma'am.
increase the volume please because I don't know from my end I'm not able to hear you people. Like the voice is very low.
Hello.
Aishwarya ma'am,
Ah, ma'am.
no, your voice is very low. It's not very clearly audible.
Hello. Ma'am, now it is clear?
Little bit, not to that extent. Even though I mean, okay, fine. You continue, pa.
Ah,
The next part of the event, please continue.
okay. So I request Professor Rakshita ma'am from Department of CSE to deliver the vote of thanks. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm audible, ma'am. Yes, I'm audible to you.
Yes, madam, continue, madam.
Okay, sir. Good afternoon, all. Great literacy works are not measured by the number of words, but by the impact they create. So, which is quoted by the Lufina Lord Judges. Honorable dignitaries, distinguished guests, respected director, and the principal, sir, and dear participants. And dear participants, on behalf of SVCE, IIC, Cell, and its entire fraternity, I feel an immense pleasure to propose the vote of thanks. First and foremost, our sincere thanks to the chief guest and the resource person, Mr. Maria Navin, Assistant Professor, Department of ISC, SVCE, Bangalore. So, for not only sparing his valuable time for her, but also for the enlightening us with his commendable talk on the subject problem solving ideation. So, you have indeed put in the best of your effort to make this event unforgettable. Thank you, sir. So, next, I would like to thank the torchbearer of this event, our CED sir, Dr. M. Shashidhar Munyappa sir, for leading and inspiring us in working towards the goal of conducting this event. We are thankful to him for his youth support at all the times. No event can take the shape without a hardworking leader. I would like to take this opportunity to express my deep regards to our principal, Dr. Nageshwar Gupta sir, for being a constant motivator and guiding to force in all our endeavors to make this event as a successful. My heartfelt thanks to heads of the various departments and the faculties for their valuable contributions, guidance, and the encouragement in all our efforts. This vote of thanks would be largely incomplete without expressing my gratitude to all the participants who were live with us and attended this webinar with a great enthusiasm. Thank you, dear participants. Thank you all for being with us. Thank you once again and have a great day. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, shall we conclude the session?
No,
Thank you.
requesting HOD sir to
Okay.
speak.
Yeah, yeah. So I request HOD sir, Professor Linka Reddy sir, to speak few words about this webinar. Sir, over to you. HOD sir. Nirmala ma'am. Balaji sir.
Aishwarya ma'am, just hold on. Sir is connecting. Sir was in a meeting. Two seconds you give, he will be back by mobile only. He'll connect.
Okay. Okay, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are very much audible, sir. Please, sir.
Ma'am.
Hi, sir.
Okay.
Sir, we
So,
can.
uh, thank you very much. First of all, I would like to thank our IIC conveyor, ma'am, Nirmala Gupta, ma'am, because it's a great initiative and the topic is very good, today's topic. And also, I would like to thank our resource person, Maria Naveen. So he came forward to deliver the talk. Thank you very much. Thank you all the organizers. Thank you, madam.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, HOD, sir. And I would like to thank special thanks from the entire IIC team to Maria Naveen sir, Department of CSC for taking this initiative and helping the IIC cell to successfully execute this event. And a very, very special thanks to our own peer member, Professor Maria Naveen sir, for accepting and executing and completing successfully by giving insight on complete problem, the why the problem to be solved and how to be solved and what is innovation. So really we are thankful to you, sir.
Thank you, madam.
Aishwarya ma'am, you can conclude it.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much, sir. I thank Nirmala ma'am for organizing this event and Maria Naveen sir. It was so informative, the session. And I thank HOD sir, principal sir, and all the organizers and the participants. Yeah, I think we can conclude. Yes, no, ma'am? Yeah. Everyone can leave now. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
Ma'am,